So today we will discuss about various different types of sensors that are available in your market. You can very well use these products for your product development, and of course you can for a mini project, or it can be a major project. You can very well use these sensor, and we can also call these sensor as a industrial sensor, where right now a lot of industries they are using these sensor for their product development. So here you can able to see a lot of sensor I have displayed. We'll see one by one, and at the end of the session you can able to uh, get a clarity on what is the type of that sensor, uh, what is the what is the use of that sensor, and what are all the pinouts that it has, and the purpose of individual pin. Okay, so we'll discuss with one by one. Let I start with um, very basic sensor. Okay, so first we will discuss something more about this particular sensor. This is nothing but uh, vibration sensor. Okay, so it is actually a passive sensor because it has only two terminal. You can able to see here. Okay, so it works in the principle of either, and also you can also connect spring, maybe in the front end or in the back side. You can also extend its operation. Okay, so this is purely a passive sensor, which means it doesn't require any external excitation, like no need to give any supply voltage to this. It itself can operate if it observe any vibration. Okay, so it is very thin. Wherever you want to observe some vibration, you can very well use this particular sensor. This is purely a passive type, and in market, active vibration sensor is also available. If you just look into this, this is nothing but active vibration sensor. You can able to see here three pins provision they have given, among which one will be the VCC and the last one will be the ground, and intermediate pin will act as an output pin, and this can capable to observe, and you have some variable port. If required, you can adjust it accordingly. Okay, so this is another type which comes under the active sensor, and this is your passive sensor. But both, it's having a unique feature that I mean, both are in the same concept, same purpose. It can able to observe vibration. Okay, so this is all about vibration sensor. And next we'll move about very important sensor, and of course a very familiar one. This is nothing but accelerometer. Accelerometer sensor, it is one kind. Right now we people are using smartphone, and in smartphone for playing games, and if you tilt your mobile phone from portrait to landscape, your video is automatically aligned with the portrait to landscape. How it is happening? All because of accelerometer sensor, which is embedded in your mobile device. So it has 5 pins. You can able to see here. The first one will be the plus VCC, and the last one will be the ground. And in between, you have three different pins, that is X out, Y out, and Z out. So normally, accelerometer sensor, which operates in terms of three-dimensional, X, Y, and Z. So based on the value that you are getting through X, Y, and Z, it decide in which angle that it was tilted. The device is tilt with 45 degree or 90 degree. It is all based on that value that you are getting through X, Y, and Z output pin. Okay, so very well use this particular device to play games using mobile phone, or if you are watching a video from portrait to landscape, if you tilt your mobile phone, automatically it will align. This all because of it is embedded with accelerometer sensor, and this is comes under active sensor because it needs an excitation. You will have plus VCC and minus and ground should be properly assigned, else it won't operate. Okay, so that's why it is called as active sensor. This is all because this is all about accelerometer sensor. And next, we'll discuss something more about PIR sensor. So PIR sensor, it is abbreviated as passive infrared sensor. It is basically an infrared sensor, which means it can able to transmit infrared signal. Okay, and you can also open this outer car like this. You can also open this outer cover, and if you just look into this inner part, you can able to see this is what the transmitter. It can transmit the infrared signal, and at the back end you have lot of provision they have given in the back side. If you just go and look into this, you can able to see some variable potentiometer they have given. I tell you more about this variable pot or variable resistor in the next, maybe in the few sensors. I am having some sensors which related to this voltage regulator, I mean variable resistor, something like that. Okay, I will explain more about it while I'm taking that, but meanwhile you just keep in that mind, these are nothing but variable resistor, or it may also called as potentiometer. Okay, and it is also one kind of active sensor because it has three pins. Can you able to see here, right? It has three pin and plus VCC, and the last pin will be ground, and intermediate pin will act as output pin. Okay, and you can also have a look into this. Here they have clearly mentioned what is this pin and what are all the. They have mentioned by using some kind of keywords like input, output, supply plus V, like something like that. Okay, and other products, other components are there which makes the device to transmit or to generate infrared signal. Okay, and why we need this particular shell, outer shell? Yes, very important. In your, maybe if you are riding vehicle, or if you are having an experience of riding vehicle during night time, you will use headlamp, right? Headlamp, you will use a headlamp. When you switch on that headlamp, it is having a very small voltage bulb will be there, but it can able to penetrate, or it can able to transfer that light signal to far away distance. How it is happening is, it is all because of that reflector that you are having in the back side of, I mean back panel of your headlamp. So likewise, here you want to transfer your beam, that is your infrared beam, to much longer distance, and also in a and also for a wide coverage. So in order to make a wide coverage and to transfer to a certain distance, there is it is looking like a honeybee shell like shape. You can able to see here, it is also called as Fresnel lens shape. Okay, this shape, like this honeybee shell like structure, will helpful to penetrate or to radiate your infrared signal through a longer distance as well as in a wider form. Okay, so that is why we are using this particular setup. If it is not there, then your infrared signal will be narrow, I mean it is very narrow, and it may not be in a position to observe any motion among a wide range of room space or any other space. Okay, so in order to make that, you are using this particular over cap. Okay, so the main application of this particular device, you can use it for motion detector or object movement. Wherever you needs to detect movement, you can very well use these devices. Okay, so this is all about passive infrared. Okay, and next we'll discuss something more about ultrasonic sensor. So ultrasonic sensor, you have a transmitter part and receiver part. It can capable to transfer or transmit ultrasonic range of signal, I mean sound signal. Okay, so the main purpose of using this device, this component, this particular sensor, is to detect any obstacle or any what I can say, any if you, for example, if you want to develop a code for detect the boundary or any wall, very well you can use these devices. Okay, so it will transmit from the transmitter. You can able to see here they have clearly mentioned it as T at one side. Here it is, and R will be mentioned in the other side, which means it can able to transmit at through one setup and it can able to receive it. and you need an oscillator to generate ultrasonic range of signal. So in order to generate a much frequency, ultrasonic range of frequency, you need an crystal oscillators like this. And at the back end, if you just go and look into the back side, you can able to see 4 pinouts, and the first pin will be the ground pin, and the last one will be plus VCC. In between, you have very important pinouts where you can use these devices in an effective way. So, which is named as trigger pin and echo pin. Trigger pin is an input pin, and echo pin, I mean, trigger pin is an output actually through which you can trigger uh, whenever you want to send an ultrasonic signal. And echo pin, it is actually an input pin. It can capable to observe the receiving signal. Okay, so by using these 2 pins, you can able to very well use this device for any obstacle detection. Okay, so this is all about ultrasonic signal. And then, yeah, very familiar one, I think, for you all people. It is nothing but IR sensor. So the best example, real-time example, what I can say, TV remote control, everything will be done by using this IR, infrared signal transmission. So it is not visible to our naked eye because its range, the light range, is all about infrared range of frequency. And one more thing, normally infrared sensor will have a transmitter and receiver. And receiver is normally it is black color, dark color, like shape of LED. But transmitter, it is like a transparent LED, like what you are familiar with it. Okay, so it can transmit your signal, and if there is any detector in the other side, it can able to detect that. Okay, so it can able to detect. It can also act as a photo detector. When you take this particular device, receiver is nothing but photo detector, which can able to observe the photo energy, that is photons are nothing but light energy. Okay, so here also you have a provision uh, to use a variable pot is given. You can adjust its distance of coverage by using this particular variable resistor. Okay, and this is also an active sensor. You have 3 pins, you can able to see here, right? Plus VCC, ground, and output pin. So if there is any detection, if any signal it is receiving, for example, if this photodiode receives any photo signal, then immediately it produces an output logic 1. If there is any detection in the photo detector, and it produces the output logic 0. Very simple, it is a digital ICs. Okay, and of course it is a active IC, active sensor. You must give proper excitation, if not it won't operate. Okay, this is all about infrared sensor. I think this pH module is not that much, maybe it is a little bit lengthy, but you can able to see here a lot of pins they have given provision. But here this particular pH module will used for dual purpose. This particular stem can be used for measuring the water level or any other solution level, and this particular stem, it can be used to observe its hydrogen ions content. Okay, so this is all about pH level, and you have an LDR as well. You can very well use this LDR, light dependent resistor, and if there is any light detection, it can able to make use of it. And here they have given some provisions, pin provision. You can use plus VCC and ground because it operates with proper excitation. And the important thing, you have to get back the data. I mean, whatever it is getting observed, the pH level, you can get back the data by using TX and RX pin. Okay, and D7, D6, D5, these are the other datas you can able to get at temperature at one side, light radiation, light intensity level in the other one, and water level in the other one. Okay, like you can very well use this particular device to observe pH content as well as water level or a solution level. Okay, so this is a little bit lengthy, you can able to see here, right? So at the bottom you will have like this, and if the water is filled up to this, it will indicate it as level 1. If it is filled up to this, it is level 2, and level 3, level 4, level 5, and level 6 will be the maximum. Okay, So this is all about pH module. So you can very well use this sensor to observe hydrogen ions content in your solution. It may be any solution, can be H2O or whatever it may be, any chemical solution, you can very well use it. Okay. So that's all about pH module. And then yes, this is nothing but DHT11. It is humidity sensor. Can able to sense your humidity level nearby. Nearby, it can able to observe its humidity level nearby to this part, this component. Okay, and it is also a kind of active. You must give proper excitation. You have a provision for plus VCC, and you have another provision for ground, and output can be taken from the middle pin. Okay, so this is all about DHT11. Wherever you want to observe its humidity content in our environment or in your workspace, you can develop your product by using this particular sensor. Okay, and other sensors are DHT22 is also there. In addition to that humidity, you can able to observe there may be a provision for temperature observing capability. Temperature sensor is also incorporated. Okay, in some device you can able to find it. Okay, so DHT can do it can observe temperature as well as humidity level, okay, in some kind, but here there is no provision. But in some devices you can able to see that some LM35 or thermistor, something like that, they have embedded along with this particular DHT sensor, humidity sensor. Okay, so this is another type of active sensor. Yes, I want to tell you more about these component. Okay, yeah. So these are different types of um potentiometer, that is variable resistor. Okay, so all comes under the same family, variable resistor or a potentiometer. But if you just look into its arrangement is completely different. Okay, based on your need or your circuit complexity, you can incorporate any of these devices. But please keep in that mind, if you take any variable part, you must have three pinouts. Can you able to see here? In all your devices, you must have three pin arrangement pinouts like this. Okay, yeah, like this you can able to see. So each and every whatever it may be, any style or any complexity may be a little larger or a very tiny, but it must have three pinouts. I will tell you why that it should have three pinouts. Basically, variable pot we will use, or variable resistor will be used to vary its resistivity from the minimum to the maximum. So basically, if you take any resistor, any variable resistor, you must have a provision to connect the maximum voltage point, and you must have the provision to connect the minimum voltage point. So maximum will be connected here and minimum will be connected here. Likewise, maximum will be connected here, minimum will be connected here. And likewise the same, maximum here, minimum in this place. So why it is so? Yes, it is very much required, because if you take a real-time example of these devices, is nothing but your fan regulator. If you adjust your fan regulator, what will happen? It will make your fan to rotate in a very low RPM. If you adjust it to the maximum voltage, then it will run in a very maximum RPM. So how it is happening? Its voltage is getting different. That's it. So you must have this provision. And why the third pin? Yes, through the third pin, you can able to take the output. So you can either you can adjust this, and accordingly whatever the value that you want, you can take it from the third pin, that intermediate pin here. Okay, so in all these cases, especially in variable pot or variable resistor, you must have either like a screw like this. Okay, there will be a provision to screw and unscrew it, and or you can have the provision like this. Okay, you can use some screwdrivers or something else. You can vary this, and likewise, if you just look into the top end, you can able to see there is a white color screw like structure. You can use screwdriver to adjust its resistance. Likewise, this knob you can able to totally you can vary it. You can vary to minimum to the maximum side. Okay, so or else what you can do, you can use some wire connections like this. Yeah, like this you can use you can take a wire from these three pins and you can connect it to your circuit. Keep in that mind, this yellow wire should be either connected to the minimum value or to the maximum value. This blue will be the other one. It can be a minimum. If you are using yellow for maximum, then blue should be a minimum voltage. And you can adjust this knob, whatever that value that you are adjusting, your output you can get it through this particular green wire. Okay, so the middle pin will act as an output pin. Okay, the same case for all these things. Okay, the middle pin you can able to clearly you can able to identify. In this case, the middle pin will be the output pin. In this case, you can see this will be acting as a front end. Okay, the other two pins will be in the back side. Likewise, the two will be in the back side, and you can able to see here, one pin alone will be there in the other side. So somehow there will be some difference in their pin assignment. Very well you can able to observe it. Okay, so this is all about variable part. And this is one kind of passive device. No need, because resistor always comes under passive device. Please don't forget that. Okay, yeah. Another one, it is nothing but this is one kind of sensor which can capable to observe gas molecule. Okay, if there is any gas leakage nearby this area, it can able to observe it. It is having its name MQ135, and lot of MQ other versions are there. You can very well use this, and depends on the gas molecule you want to observe. Specifically you can mention, and you can get the component from the market. It is available in the market. Okay, so and one more thing I want to tell you, as a technical people, you must aware the technical name for this device is nothing but ChemFET. Chemical will be like Chem is abbreviated as chemical. FET means field effect transistor. So it is a kind of transistor, chemical field effect transistor, because it is having the capability to observe its chemical molecule, chemical leakage. Okay, so this is one type of sensor, and of course it's a active sensor. It has four leads like this. You can use plus VCC and ground you must supply. And nowadays this is basically an analog device. Your output will be in the form of analog, but nowadays these devices incorporated with a small DAC. You can able to see here, right? There will be an IC which can convert the analog into its equivalent digital format, and you can also get the output. So output can be either taken as A naught or D naught. Okay, so you can able to get the digital output as well as analog value. Whatever the application, whatever the circuit that you have designed, accordingly you can connect these pins to the respective pin. Okay, so this is all about ChemFET, gas leakage detector or gas sensor. Okay, and then what else? This um, here you have a sensor. Just I want to tell you something more about this particular device. This is nothing but LDR, light dependent resistance, and you can able to see here only two terminals are there, which means it's purely a passive sensor. It doesn't require any external excitation. So this particular device will basically, its working is basically in the working like a resistor. Okay, its resistivity will vary or will change based on the intensity of light that you are focused in the top area, the top end. Okay, if you pass a good intensity of light over this, then its resistivity will automatically will vary. Okay, and if there is no light signal, its resistivity will get vary accordingly. Okay, so this is one sensor, passive sensor, you can very well use to detect light. Okay, and it is also called as light detector. Okay, so if you want to detect light signal, you can very well use this particular device. Okay, so this is all about LDR. And this is another type actually. Okay, this is another type. Um, Same whatever that I told you right now, LDR. This is the light dependent resistor, and of course this is a printed board, a mini printed board circuit. This is a dart board which is done by okay, which is done by myself. Okay, this is a small board which I have used dot board to make the same product, which can be done by a very much tiny shaped same product in a very much tiny shaped size. Okay, this is done by using a machine printed circuit board, and this is a trial and error purpose. Just I have made it okay for my project. So I'll show you one more thing, and this is all about inductive sensor. Um, okay, this is one type of inductive sensor which can able to observe any product which can able to react with its inductive effect. Okay, and this is also a three terminal device. You can able to see here. Yeah, you can able to see this. This is also three terminal device, and of course active sensor. You must give proper supply to operate, and you can take an output from this particular wire, the black wire. Using this you can able to get the output, and you should place any product nearer to this particular top end here where the exact observing capability that it has. If you place any component which can able to react with inductance effect, you can place it over here nearby this particular area. It can able to observe it. Okay, so this is about inductive sensor. So I think I have given some inputs related to different sensors that is available in the market.